I feel I'm beginning to understand the wood a bit more and see what's going on, especially with these two knots. And having removed a bit off this edge, I can sort of see how far the heartwood goes up. But I think if I just tap these, they'll probably pop out, and then I can fill them and work with a bit more confidence. You'll see I've rasped there, and there's two features. There's this knot, and there's something else there. But if I just get this one out, there you go. Let's see if this one will pop out the same. Might not. Yeah, there she goes. You can see all that black stuff around it. The actual knot is quite hard, but of course you've got this cylinder of what would have been bark around it that has no compressive strength at all. So what would happen is, as that compresses, you'd get a compression crack on this remaining bit of wood there and there. So what I'll do is I'll clean them out, make sure I get all the black manky stuff out. I might be able to excavate around here a bit more and see what on earth it is. But you can see it's quite a bit slimmer now. I'm slowly getting a feel for it. I'm removing the heartwood till there's virtually none showing there either side. But of course inside, where it curves up towards this crown, there obviously is heartwood. A nice way to deal with this sort of big uneven cavity is to pack it full of yew dust and epoxy, then drill through clean and put a nice round peg in a nice round hole. Just gives you a neater finish. You wouldn't want that totally filled with yew and epoxy, whereas that one will just take a nice clean peg through there. Probably not worth doing anything about that one at the grip. See, that's a funny thing, you get these knots that have grown over that you can't see from the back. So even with the nicest bit of yew, you can occasionally get a surprise. Probably won't do anything with that one because on the belly it's fairly solid, and on the back filling it won't achieve anything anyway because it will be in tension. It'll just open up. What I might do is dig round it and sort of smooth and round and polish the end just to make it look a bit prettier. And I came up with a cunning wheeze. Rather than filling it totally with epoxy and sawdust, I stuck a roll of paper through it first, and that will be where the round peg goes, and just rammed the rest of the cavity nice and tight with epoxy and yew dust. The trick is to make the mix drier than you'd anticipate, because as you ram it down it sort of wets itself, epoxy soaks in better. In fact, I normally just rub a bit of epoxy in the hole first, like a primer if you like, then mix in the dust, then ram it in really tight, lean on it with a palette knife. Had it on the tiller a couple of times, it's moving a lot more now, but this area is stiff. So I've gone radical. I'm carving out that groove to get rid of that raised ridge of heartwood. Now the way I figure it is heartwood's not very good in tension, so it could make the bow fail at the back. But if the heartwood's not there, it can't fail, can it? So I've dug it out. Now there's a thing called a hollow limb design, which involves hollowing out the belly, so you've got a concave belly. But I've never seen this before, although I'm sure someone somewhere will have done it. But the other advantage of cutting out this groove is it allows me to see how much sapwood I've got above the heartwood. Admittedly it's a wee bit thin there, but I've had it on the tiller and that area is moving more now, and I think it's a good thing. I'll see how it behaves. It's a bit hot here, so hopefully forgive my lack of a shirt. That's looking more like a bow now, isn't it? There's 45, which is what we're after. I think that's about 18 or 19.